If you are a homeowner and considering selling, you may be wondering what to fix and what would be a waste of time and money. And if you are like most homeowners, making a decision on what to fix and what not to fix, that may lead you to confusion and indecision. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 7 things you should not do to get your home ready to sell. And at the end of this video, I will give you 2 bonus points that are very important, cost you a lot less or doesn't cost you anything, but will give you big returns when you sell your home. Thanks for watching my channel. I'm Mike Patel from Anaheim Hills, California. So you may be living in a luxury neighborhood, you may be living in a medium-priced home neighborhood, or you may be living in a under medium-priced home, average neighborhood or average price neighborhood. So when you do want to fix some things, keep in mind that fix it to the level of your neighborhood. If you have a luxury home, don't fix it to lower than your neighborhood. And if you're medium-priced home, then don't fix it to the level of a luxury home. Try to keep it to the level of your neighborhood and your price range and your market conditions. So let's get started. Point number 1, what not to do when you want to sell your home and you are trying to get the most return from selling your home. And the first thing not to do is do not remodel your kitchen or your bathrooms. It's obvious that most of the buyers look at the kitchen and they have to love their kitchen. And if you want to remodel, kitchen remodeling is very expensive these days. Everything has gone up, labor, prices, sinks, tiles, faucets. So it's very, very important that you don't replace the whole kitchen if you don't need it. Of course, if you want to remodel, and let's say you want to stay there in your house for 2 or 3 more years and want to enjoy the kitchen and the new kitchen look and the countertops or the cabinets, go for it and enjoy the kitchen remodel. So when you do sell it, you will get your return. But if you're just selling it and if it needs some updating, maybe you want to just paint the cabinets, change the faucets if they're old or if there's a leak in there, or if there is a drip on your faucets. So little things will help. We don't have to change your whole kitchen. Or same thing with the bathrooms. If your bathroom is dated, if you have wallpapers, if the paint is old, or there's a lot of chips in there because of the moisture in the bathroom, if you don't have those exhaust fans, then by all means, go ahead and paint that bathroom, change the shower curtains if they're old, change the faucets. And should you replace your bathtub or not? Well, that depends. If your bathtub is chipped and if it has those black dots that we see, instead of replacing, you may want to consider reglazing. I've had a lot of clients that I've referred to reglazers. They come in, reglaze the whole bathtub, and it looks just like brand new, all white finish, all glossy finish. And to enhance your bathtub look, if you want to change the faucets and the shower faucets and the shower head, you may want to do that because that enhances and makes it look newer and up to date in this trending market. Let's say you bought your home 10, 15 years ago and the faucets may be dated. So by changing a little things, you bring it up to current trends. It looks newer, it looks fresher, it looks inviting to the potential buyer. Keep in mind that you want to update functional values more than the aesthetical values. People want to come in the house and make sure everything's working, everything's up to date. The second thing you do not want to do is to replace your roof. Of course, if your roof is very old and you've been in the house for a long time, and if it needs a replacement, you may want to consider replacing it because after all, appeal, when they first come to the house, they're going to look at the roof. And if it's very outdated or it has a couple of layers of roof on there and has patches of fixing here and there, it's not going to look good. So if you have to replace it, go ahead and replace it. But if it's just leaking at a certain areas and if you notice that there is a roof leak, do have it fixed up, because that'll help for the buyers to be comfortable when they move in. You don't want to get a call 6 months afterwards and find out that there's a roof leak and they're going to go after you. So if it needs a roof leak, fix it up, but you don't have to replace it unless you have to. The other option is if your roof is dated, but it is still working, it's not leaking, then most realtors will help you with this, is that they will price it according to the condition of the home. So let's say your house needs some work and one of the things is the roof. So when you price it, you're going to keep in mind that you're pricing it low or below average because it needs replacing of the roof. So when the buyer buys the property, you can explain to them that it's priced in such a way because the roof needs replacement. The other option is that if the buyers do ask, and remember, buyers are very concerned about roofs All the homes I've sold, I make sure the home inspector inspects not only the inside of the house, but also the roofs. They either walk on the roofs. A lot of the time there are tile roofs, and the inspectors now don't want to walk on the tile roof because of damage. So they're using drone technology or camera technology, and they can pick up a lot of things. They can see the cracks or patches and all that. So it's always a good idea to have the roof in working condition. And if it does need work, price it accordingly. And if you're in escrow and they're asking for a newer roof, then you can negotiate the price, go halfway, or give them some credit and they can replace it. The other thing you can do, and this has worked a lot as well, is now a lot of the home warranty companies like Fidelity Title and American Home Warranty, they offer roof home warranty or home warranty for a roof. So you could buy the roof warranty for your buyers if you don't want to replace it, or if you feel there may be some potential problem down the road. This makes the buyer feel better. It'll make you feel better as well, because yes, you want to get the most for your money, but you also want to be fair to yourself and fair to the buyers. The third thing you don't want to do is to change your flooring. Whether you have carpeting, you have tiles, or you have hardwood flooring, if you have to change it, and again, if you want to change the carpet or the flooring because you want to enjoy it for the next 2 or 3 years that you're going to be in the house, and then you are thinking about selling, that may be a good idea. But if it just has normal wear and tear, some of the things you can do is, the first thing is you can have it thoroughly shampooed and thoroughly deodorized so it smells fresh and it looks fresh, if that's possible. If for some reason your carpet is dated, has patches in there, has stains in there, if you have pets or if you have kids and you've got stains all over the place and shampooing will not help it, you may consider replacing that carpet. And if you do replace it, please assure the colors that you choose and the quality that you use is in your neighborhood and your house level. Don't go very cheap and don't go very expensive. And the colors should be neutral and trending in your local neighborhood. Whites or light gray or light browns, those are the trending colors. But you can always consult the shop when you go to get the paint. The other thing you have to keep in mind is if you have hardwood floors and if it doesn't need a lot of work, you could have them really polished or stained and cleaned up, and it'll look really nice and shiny and newer. If you have tiles, if there's some cracked tiles here and there, you can find similar tiles and replace those tiles. And one of the best and cheapest things you can do if you have tiles is have them clean or replace the grouting. That makes a huge difference because you've stayed in the house for 5 or 6 years, you did the tiles 4 or 5 years ago, so the grouting looks dirty, there's scratches, there's dings in the tiles. So by doing little things like this, it doesn't cost you a lot of money, and you don't have to replace the flooring, because if you have tiles and if you replace it with tiles, what if the buyer does not like tiles and they wanted carpeting? Then you wasted your money. So you have to be careful when you do your hardwood flooring, your carpeting, tiles, keep all this in mind. And of course, if it does need replacing, go ahead and replace it. You can enjoy while you live in the house, and you will hopefully get the return on your investment for the flooring or the carpeting. One other tip or a pro tip that I would like to tell you is that when you do change carpeting throughout the house or in the hallways, or if you change the hardwood floorings or the carpeting, please keep neutral colors and keep the carpeting continuous. So do not put one color in one room and one color in the hallway, or one hardwood floor coloring in one, a lighter one in the hallway or darker one in the bedrooms. This changes the effect of the look and it makes the house look smaller. So it's preferred these days in this market that the flooring throughout is consistent with the nice neutral colors, what's trending in your local neighborhood. What's trending in California may not be trending in Texas, or what's trending in Texas City may not be trending in Montana. So you have to do your research, talk to a realtor, local realtors, and they'll be glad to help you, or talk to the design shops like Home Depot or any others. They have flooring departments and painting departments. As you watch this video, I would like you to comment below. Let us know what you feel that you might be wanting to do or what you may not do. Share us your comments, your thoughts, how you are preparing or how you fixed your home, and share with other viewers like yourself. We will really appreciate it. And I myself would like to find out what you would like to do or don't do, what helped you or did not help you when you sold a home or when you are thinking about selling a home. Please comment below. Tip number 4 is pretty simple. We all have sidewalks and driveways, and most of the driveways have some cracks in it. So that's one thing that's in the front. When the buyers come in the house, they're going to see those cracks, but those are pretty normal. It's something that you don't have to fix if they are normal wear and tear cracks. All concrete, all driveways have cracks in there no matter what. Unless you have pavers and things like that you have done recently, they may not have cracks in there, but the concrete driveways have cracks. And for all the homes that I've sold and all the sellers that I've dealt with over the last 20 years, not one has asked for a repair on those cracks. So it's one thing you don't have to spend your money and time on. You can just ignore it. Unless it's really out of shape and you have really big cracks. Number 5 is do not replace the door. This is a tricky one. Door is very important because that's the first thing they're going to see. When we realtors show the home and try to open up the lockbox, and sometimes it takes a while to open the lockbox, they are looking at the front door or they're looking at the front of the curb appeal, which we will talk about. So door is very important. So if your door is not really damaged, you don't have to replace the door, but it's very advisable and recommended that you paint the door or restain it, polish it. If your door handles are outdated, you haven't changed them in 15, 20 years, you may want to replace them with newer locks, or these days you may want to put electronic locks or what we call smart locks. People like it. It shows that you've kept the house in trendy condition, and it may be a feature that they're excited about as they're just about to enter the home, thinking that, hey, these sellers have taken care of the home. Little things make a big difference. It's the first impressions, and the front door is a big one. And to go along with the door, if you have a small front patio or if you have a side yard right next to the door on the right or left, or if you have steps, make sure those are well painted, very inviting, so the door looks good with the step-ups, with the paint on the patio or on the flooring. And then the immediate right, if there's landscaping, make sure it's green or have some flowers, etc. Because door by itself goes well with the surroundings as well. Tip number 6 of what not to do is do not replace your window coverings or window blinds. Of course, if your window coverings, you've had it for a long time and it is dusty and they're dirty, it's recommended that you take them down, have it washed or shampooed in dry cleaners because it's hard to wash them at home. Or if they're very dark and it's blocking the lights that's coming in, you may want to replace the curtains and add some blinds in there. Blinds don't cost a lot of money. So depending on where you are and what the trends are in your local neighborhood, that is an option. But it's highly recommended that you clean those drapes, shampoo it if you have to. It all depends when you got them, what condition they're in, and what style they're in. If they're outdated, blinds or shutters or something like that may be an option. If not, at least have it clean and dusted and then tie it down when the buyers come in the house. If your house is dark, if the curtains are dark and you don't want to change it, do assure that when buyers do come in, especially these days, a lot of buyers come on the first and second and maybe the third and fourth open houses. Fold them up, tie them up so there's a lot of light in there. And when it comes to windows, a lot of homes we go to, and I see a lot of homes on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, a lot of times the knobs are broken or it doesn't open up. So little things like that, you can call a handyman, or if you're good at fixing things, you may want to fix up those windows, the handles. If there's dirt on the windows, have it cleaned. The other thing you can do is if your windows outside, there's some patches needs to be done or there's holes in the wood, you may want to just patch it up and paint it so it looks nice and clean. But you don't have to replace windows unless they are really, really old, 15, 20, 30 years old, and you never replace the windows. They look very dated and all the neighbors have changed windows except you. Then that is something that you may want to consider. And like anything else, windows are expensive to replace and to install. So unless you have to replace it, do whatever you can to enhance the look of the windows and the window coverings. Item number 7 that you may not want to do or add on to is landscaping. Landscaping these days is very good to have. Hardscaping is very expensive right now. So the thing you can do to save money and cost and time is that if you've been living there for a while, you have a lot of fruit trees and you have trees and you have shrubs, the first thing you want to do is trim them, cut the branches, make more room in the yard. People buy space, not only inside the house, but even outside the house. If you have large trees in front of your house, and when they park in the parking of your street and come to your house, and if these trees are blocking your windows of the house or blocking the view of the house, have those trees trimmed up. Cut them, trim them, Same thing in the backyard. If you have a lot of trees, been there for a long time, trim them so they can see the backyard or the side yard. And if you have views, unblock those views by trimming the trees, trimming those shrubs. Or if you have plants on fencing, trim those. The other thing you can do, especially for the curb appeal in the front yard, is if your lawn has a lot of patches or you have not put fertilizer in there and there's a lot of dry patches or other things going on with the lawn, reseed them, add fertilizer to it, make them look greener, make them look nicer. If the plants have faded or you don't have any more plants, they dried up or they died or you just never put any plants, get some trays of plants and put colorful plants in there. They really enhance the curb appeal of the house, gives it a lot of color. Of course, it depends where you are and what time of the season you're doing it. But little things like these add a lot of curb appeal. It's very inviting in the house and it does not cost you a lot of money. Hardscaping these days is very expensive. So unless you want to do it 2 or 3 years before you sell the home and enjoy it, you want to put a pond in there or you want to put something else in there, brickwork in there and enjoy it, put some lights in there in the backyard, put a pond in there. Those things are great if you want to enjoy it, but don't do them just to sell a house and expect a rate of return. Usually when you fix something, you don't get 100% rate of return, especially in the market that is leveling off. In an up market where home prices are jumping and jumping, you may get a more rate of return depending on what you do in the house. But in a normal market or in a slowing market, when you put something in the house, your rate of return is just neutral or maybe less than what you put into it. So when it comes to hardscaping, landscaping, don't overdo it. Do what's necessary to make the house look nice, clean, and impressive and inviting. So before I give you the 2 bonus tips, I wanted to mention to you that if you are considered selling and if you're looking to talk to a realtor and if you're local in Orange County, feel free to direct message me. I'll be glad to talk to you, no obligation. And if you're in other states or other towns, in my comment section on the first comment, I have a link there. Please fill it out. Let us know where you are and I can have a top agent call you in your neighborhood. I belong to the top 3% of realtors in the nation, so I can have them call you and just give you ideas how to prepare, etc. So I'll be glad to give you a referral. Fill out that form and I'll be glad to refer you somebody. Coming back to the bonus points, the first thing you can do is declutter your house. As we're staying there, we have a lot of stuff coming. People give us gifts. We keep buying stuff and keep buying stuff. And all of a sudden, we have a lot of things in the house. So, as I mentioned earlier, people buy space. So if you have a lot of things, a lot of decorations, a lot of items, a lot of furnitures and things like that, declutter them, make room, get rid of some of the things you don't need. You are going to be packing anyways. So start packing, let's say your decorations on the wall, put it in a box. All the toys if you have kids or if you have sports things, take them out, put them in a box, make room. If you have a lot of furniture, maybe you want to rearrange it. And that's where staging comes in. You may want to call a stager and have them give you ideas on how to create space because people buy space. And the other thing you can do when you are preparing to sell your home is deep clean the house. It's very important that after you've done all the work that you wanted to do, fix this faucet, fix this patch, you've shampooed your carpet, it's time to come for an open house next weekend. Then you want to deep clean it just before they take the pictures because it shows all the lights that has dust that needs to be gone. The curtains looks fresh. Your carpet is fresh. There's no dust on the flooring. There's no dust on the shelving. Have it deep clean. Windows are clean so there's bright sunlight coming in. So when the photographer comes in, when the videographer comes in, they take those detailed shots. It shows in the pictures. And when all the people come in the open house, hopefully a lot of people will walk into your house, 10, 20, 30, 40 groups of people, and they will notice the deep clean. And deep clean does not cost a lot of money. So decluttering and deep cleaning is one of the cheapest ways and it has the biggest returns at no cost to you. Thanks again for watching my channel. I'm Mike Patel and hope you come back to watch other videos.